Hi, I'm Jay Jones.
Hi, Brad Cabrera. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Come on in. So a little bit about us. We are a small CPA firm, and we do a lot of unique accounting for a very diverse population of industries here in the Eugene-Springfield area. So we're just kind of small. We just have a few staff accounts, and thanks for coming in for this staff accounting position.
Thanks for inviting me.
Can you tell me a little bit about your accounting experience?
Well, my most recent experience has been my education. I just finished my bachelor's in accounting, and on top of that, I'm continuing taking accounting classes to just make sure my education stays relevant and keep it going. And I used to also work for a company called Paychex. We used to do payroll for small businesses, so we did a lot of audits of clients on their payroll taxes, and I've also been a manager of an accounting company where we worked with a lot of individual and corporate tax returns.
Wonderful. Thank you. You mentioned you're kind of a recent graduate. Can you tell me which accounting class you like best and why?
I think the accounting class that I enjoyed the most was our cost accounting, the managerial accounting. I really enjoyed looking at production line, production equipment, and seeing how the cost broke down per item, and also seeing where we make improvements through that production process by using some of the accounting functions we learned, trying to identify where we can make improvements to the revenue and the profits for the company.
Great. Since you are kind of new to the accounting field, can you tell me a little bit about your past experience, your most recent job's past experience?
Okay. Like I mentioned before, I was manager of a mortgage company, and we did a lot of work with clients who were coming in with business and corporate tax returns. And we were using it for the purposes of trying to verify income for underwriters, but it got me very familiar with knowing the way around business and corporate tax returns. In addition to that, working for Paychex, I worked there for about 2 years. Anytime we brought on a new client to take care of their payroll, we'd have to do a complete audit of the prior year, the existing year and the prior year payroll, just to make sure that all the payroll taxes were current correct before we could actually bring them on as a client. So as one of my jobs, we'd gather all their payroll records and payroll history and then do that audit for them.
Okay, wonderful. Dealing with accountants and also their clients, there's some instances where there's difficulties, either whether it's communications or just, something didn't come out properly the way that the customer or client thought it would. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me kind of how you handle a difficult situation with a client?
Well, currently my current job, we deal with those kind of difficult situations on a daily basis. I work for the State of Oregon Employment Department, and we have quite a few claimants, people who are claiming unemployment insurance benefits, who are required to come to our office and go through a certain process in order to receive their benefits. A lot of these people aren't quite sure why they're going through these processes. They just want to get their weekly check. So on a regular basis, I'm sitting down with individuals and explaining the benefits of going through our process and how we're going to be able to assist them once they go through this process, but also explaining that it is required for their benefits. So hopefully they come out realizing that it's something they have to do, but also seeing the benefit in doing it also.
Yeah, a lot of our clients, we are kind of a small market, so we deal with a lot of smaller businesses. They don't understand sometimes why they have to send in certain reports, on a quarterly or monthly basis to certain entities, whether it's a bank or the government, and so that can be kind of useful. Accounting and accountants, they require a lot of organizational skills. Can you tell me kind of how you'd handle, multiple things going on at once?
Mm-hmm. When I was managing a mortgage company, we had at any given time about 150 loans in our pipeline. Each loan had usually a buyer and a seller, appraisers, escrow companies, the loan officers, so real estate agents. We had multiple hands in that transaction. So at any given time, we were dealing with hundreds of people at once. So we created a pipeline scenario where it eased the effect of making sure certain things got done at certain times. And we had daily communication with all parties involved to make sure the loan was going through smooth. Similar to probably taking care of somebody's taxes or doing an audit for them, they've got a deadline, it has to be met. If it's not met, things can fall apart. Same thing in the mortgage world, because we are constantly dealing against expiring sales agreements. So just creating that pipeline, that constant communication, and trying to head off any potential scenarios that we could foresee coming up, just made the communication go pretty well.
Great. What do you feel is one of the most important attributes of an accountant?
I think there's many important attributes an accountant can have, and that could be understanding auditing principles, understanding GAAP, basically knowing where all the numbers go and why they go in some of those places, and being able to come up with realistic calculations when you're dealing with your clients on why you should be buying something or not buying something. But at the same time, I think one of the most important things would probably be the code of ethics. I think as an accountant, especially at the level that I'm at, and probably most of your staff, everybody understands what to do and why to do it. But it seems like at times could be that pressure to do things a little bit differently to benefit the client's pocketbook. So I think code of ethics is one of the most important things an accountant can have, because it really directs you to make sure you're doing the right thing at all times.
Great. You're right. That is the number one thing we look for, is their ability to make that good, sound judgment. And of course, we want to be fair to all parties and making those judgments be right. Ethics are super high on the priority list. Brad, is there any questions that you have for me today?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions for you. The first question is, I know there's many types of accounting you might do for different types of clients you have, whether they're tribals or nonprofits or retail businesses. Your accounting functions and procedures might be different. What type of client base do you have?
That's a very fair question. We have mostly a smaller market. Retail is our focus, is maybe a smaller business that's kind of mom and pop. We go in there and we do a little bit of advising at the same time. As a staff accountant, you may not get that opportunity right up front, but a lot of our clients rely on us for all this information, all these abilities, and these reports. And so we do also work with some tribal members, and then we like to make sure we have a broad base. We do a little bit of manufacturing, some industrial type work, small delivery companies and other companies that just fit our niche and what we feel like we're best at.
Great. My second question is, coming to you at this point as a staff accountant, I don't have my CPA license. I do have all my education requirements to go forward and take that exam. What's your expectations coming in this position on when I should be prepared and ready to be looking forward to taking that exam?
That's a very good question. Usually we like to see our staff accountants for about 6 months, and then when they prepare for their 4 exams, that can take anywhere to prepare and take those exams about 1 year, which would give you about 18 months of experience, which is also one of the requirements that we would sign off on for you, is that you have that breadth of knowledge or that ability to do all those things that the Board of Accountancy is looking for. And we feel like you're pretty fairly involved in all of our audits and businesses about 18 months into your career. And that's definitely something we encourage you to do when you have finished, if that's a goal of yours by then.
Yep, perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.